Hello, my name is Anjani Segrist, and today I'm reading the full moon astrology chart for January 12th at 3:33 a.m. That's the exact time of the moon. And you can see here just some really interesting shapes and patterns. So if you don't know a ton about all the specifics of astrology, you can still learn a lot just by looking at it with a sort of an artistic eye or looking at it metaphorically. And I like to just draw on here the things that I'm going to talk about, the things I'm going to, dive deeper into specifically. And you can see automatically this big square here. So anytime there's red lines, typically, depending on what program you're using, it's a square. And well, a 90 degree is a square, and then these red lines are oppositions. And those represent something that's going to be, we call it a hard angle. I like to think about it as a dynamic aspect. So it's something that's going to be sort of causing friction and asking us to make a change, a transformation of some sort, to sort of release the friction that we're experiencing in some sort of a way. And another thing that always comes to mind when I think about challenges, dynamic aspects in life, is the way out is to go in. So we're really looking at, how can we go into challenges and come out alive and come out, more awesome than when we went into that challenge. So let's start off. My dear friend, Mr. Clarkin, you'll be happy to know that I am going to start out with Pluto today. He says that last month, I think, or maybe it's for Mercury retrograde, he said, you always say that, because I was talking about bringing the shadow out, integrating the shadow into our everyday life and really bringing up material consciously to integrate it into our existence. And that's what Pluto's really about, and other things too. That's one of the things. So taking that concept into mind, there are some other ways to look at Pluto. So we could think about the empowerment. Pluto's main purpose is to really tap us into our own personal power, the inner genie, the genius within us. So when we get kind of put into these, and I can't say put in, it's like life happens and we get into these intense underworld energy type of situations where, one girl was saying today, which I've experienced also, is like not having a reference point for what's happening. So you're just thrown into this dark room and like having to feel your way through to find where you're going. And you're going to come across things that you're like, wow, what is this? I've never experienced this before. And you're like just touching it and feeling it, and it can be really scary. And the whole intention of that is for us to, number one, be confident in the dark. Be confident feeling our own fear, because ultimately we're not going to eradicate fear in our life. That's not how it goes. It's like being able to be with our fear and thrive and feel the power of that, instead of letting that fear and the power of our own fear throw us down and get us into the fetal position in the dark room, because that's an option. If I'm thrown into something that's scary and dark and I have no reference point, which I had that experience in December, actually, 2016. And I could have curled up into a fetal position, and don't get me wrong, I actually did for a couple of days, because I had no idea what to do. I felt completely, I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, so my body was really fatigued, and I did that, but I got up, And that's the point, is like being able to feel that intensity and let it charge you and charge your energy body, charge you up so that you're able to feel that, bring it back down through your central column into your spine, into your, if you're talking yoga talk, you would say bringing it into the Sushumna Nadi, where it's the spine, basically, the energetics of the spine, and being able to circulate that energy through your body so that you're, vibing and you're not just collapsed in the fetal position on the floor, like letting it take you down. So, introduction for Pluto. So here's the sun and here's the moon. So anytime they're opposing each other, that's a full moon point. And this is a time of really bringing the fullness of whatever this cycle has been about, overall for the collective and personally for you. So this cycle, we were having Mercury retrograde, we were having a lot. There's not a whole lot that has changed as far as some of the outer planets. They move really slowly, so that a lot of that stuff is still the same. It just looks a little bit different when we see what has moved, like Venus, Mars, the sun and the moon, obviously, and everything moves a little bit. So some of the things that have not moved so much is that Uranus-Pluto square, and I've read a lot of charts. I didn't read too many charts in December because I was kind of going through my thing, but the ones that I did read, so let me just show it on the chart here. We have Pluto and Uranus square each other, and they're going to be square to each other for a while. And anybody who has something actively going on, and I'll give you an example here with my own chart. Oh, that's not me. Here's me. So there's me, my chart anyway. That's my Uranus. And then here's the outer sky. So here's what's happening in the outer sky. And here's the person, me, the natal chart. So there's Uranus. And Uranus is square my natal moon. Okay, so Uranus in the big sky is square to Pluto right now. So if you have something personal, say if you had anything in Capricorn, if you had anything over here in Aries on your natal chart, you are really being activated. There's things being activated in your life right now. So for me, this is hitting my natal moon, and which is also activating my own natal Pluto, because I actually have the moon and Pluto square to each other natally. So with Uranus here, it's activating this whole aspect for me. So it hits everybody a little bit differently, but collectively we're all feeling Pluto and Uranus square. So what that really is activating collectively is last new moon, the way it came through was unexpected transformation, which is what I got hit with in December, which knocked me off my feet, because it is, with Uranus, it is shifting our assemblage point. With Pluto, it's all about transformation and change. So these two together, it's unexpected, it's fast, and it causes a transformation of some sort. And we won't know what it is. It's like we can't even speculate, because both of these planets want us to evolve. And with Uranus, it's all about, I feel with Uranus that it is more, and we will call it a celestial planet, so it can be sort of not dreamy, but I almost want to say, I like using the idea of being psychedelic, but it's not the same as a Neptune psychedelic experience. It's more like that space in the morning when you wake up and you're having a dream, but you kind of come back to your body and you're still, and it happens in this room too when you're getting a massage, where you're like, think that you're just like, whoa, whoa, where am I? What's happening? That's a sort of Uranus feeling. You're out of body in a way, but you're in your body. So it's kind of trippy. So with Pluto and Uranus together, this is a celestial underworld initiation. And we're all experiencing this at some different level, and it's some, depending on your own personal natal chart. Like I said, it's going to look a little bit different individually. But overall, what we're going through, I felt like with the whole election thing, it's like triggered so much stuff because we woke up one morning and everything was different. And we're all like, wait, where am I? And what's happening? And don't know, it's kind of a weird feeling. Not the same as when you get up from getting a massage. It's that same feeling, but it doesn't feel good. Like when you get up from here, you're just like, oh my God, what just happened to me? But in this situation with the whole, change in our government, which maybe, I don't know, maybe it's not that big of a change, but we think it is, so it is. Belief has such a big effect on us. So it is that sort of dreamy, like, oh my God, where am I? What's happening? What's going on? Because we don't know what to expect, and we're kind of like, it's a time out of time kind of feeling. So we still have that going on, along with a whole bunch of other stuff. So let me stick with Pluto for a minute, and I might have to break this up into 2 readings because I want to keep it to about 15 minutes, but I have a lot more I want to say. So here we are with Pluto conjunct the Sun, opposing the Moon. So this is really, the full moon point is where it's kind of like, I think about it like giving birth. The seed was planted, and I do this with my plants. I actually plant a seed, and then the full moon point would be it like breaking through, and we see the sprouts coming. So when I say birth, it can be the fruition of a product, the fruition of a project, something like that. And with Pluto right there, it is like birthing our own inner intensity, our own inner fears, things we're afraid of, things that, we hide things within ourselves that we're afraid of unknowingly sometimes. And this full moon, just from this aspect alone, looks to me like birthing, in whatever way, whatever that means to you, your own inner genius, your own inner, because sometimes those things we're afraid of can be our own strength and our own power, our own intensity. So we're really bringing that out. And it doesn't have to be scary. When I say shadow, and when I say inner material, and when I say intense, that doesn't necessarily mean something bad. It's not it's not the super chill, laid back on the beach drinking pina coladas, although you could be, but you're going to be feeling, you want to be feeling. We're alive. We're meant to be pulsing with the rhythm of the earth and with life. So that's what Pluto is really bringing, like getting our hands down in the earth, and vibing with the mama. So that is the full moon. And I'll just touch on one more thing before I end here. Let's see. Uranus square Pluto and the Sun. We have Uranus trine Saturn in Juno. So let's leave off on that. Trines. So the blue lines here, we'll call them easy aspects. And so we have Uranus trine to Saturn and Juno. I like to add Juno in. A lot of people don't, but Juno is basically sort of showing us about commitments, pleasure, relaxation. It's known as a marriage indicator, so everything that we would like to consider to be a healthy marriage. That's Juno. And then Saturn is that part of us that is the structure, authority. So setting structure, setting form. I think of this as my inner disciplinary, or my inner authority, the part of me that authors my own life. And we have easy flow of energy between those parts of us and Uranus. So that change agent. So some of these changes, shifting the assemblage point. Here we're able to have a natural, easy flow of energy with our inner authority. So with all the change and transformation, it's really beneficial to have that easy energy with your own, the way that you set your structures, which is really, really helpful for January, because I don't know about you, but a lot of people that I've talked to haven't gotten, myself included, haven't really set out our New Year evolution plan, or our New Year, I think you guys, not you guys, but we used to call it New Year's resolution. And I've just adopted New Year's evolution. And that has been really helpful for me to relate to writing out what I'm moving into, what I'm moving out of, what I'm shifting in my life. And having this configuration with our inner authority and the shifting of our assemblage point is really beneficial. This full moon actually is when I plan to sit down and spend about 3 hours just really working, writing, meditating, getting really clear on what it is that I'm creating for this year. And I recommend for this full moon to use the energy of the above to set your own structure and form. So I'll go ahead and end there, and I didn't talk about this, so I will make another video hopefully today or tomorrow and get that out. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please leave any comments. I've really been enjoying communicating with everybody who interacts with me. I love it, actually. So thank you so much, and I look forward to connecting with you soon.